learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watches coming into June 25th, 2020, and COVID is going to reinfect the stock market. This was a big part of why we saw the market close down 710 points. A lot more news. Remember, there was a lot of news yesterday. We didn't see as much of a reaction. Today was a big news day, and we got the stress test tomorrow. However, today was the biggest day since that June 11th. Remember that? It was 2 weeks ago. You guys remember we were at 312 and dropped to 300. We were at 310 today, went to 304. So if we went to 300, it would have been like that. But remember, this day, June 11th, that was the biggest down day we saw since March and everything that happened. So today was important. Today was big. We will see if we get more surprises tomorrow. I think we might get a little bit of an exciting week. I hope I jinxed it for in the beginning of the week. But we have a lot to go over. But I'm going to tell you how to know when the volatility is going to come back. Yes, I said it. No, but I have a pretty clear indicator I'm going to be looking at. I want to go over that. I got the keys for you. I got the plays. I actually have two different plays that I'm really, really liking. One I think I'm going to do in the morning tomorrow, so we'll see. And then I'll go over the plays that we made today. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free $99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/thestockmarket. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life, and you can meet a bunch of people who trade stock. It's really cool if you've never seen that. Like, you're like, hey, how does stock trading look like? You can go see people and, like, you can see them talk to each other. This is how the stock market used to look on Wall Street before COVID if you were younger. Yeah. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watches below. Let us know what you're looking at. Got any plays, comments, remixes, anything. Post them below and source that information. Be a good friend. I love you. But right off the bat, the first thing, stress test. It's not going to be as important as you think. I will show you on the option chain. We did talk about this, but it's either going to be a surprise or not. So they're either going to change something or there will be something really, really bad. If maybe somebody fails, who knows? I doubt that, but if there is a big surprising factor, that will cause the market to move for sure. However, this usually doesn't cause too big of a move, but given the current climate of what's going on, given the latest stress test that they did and how it led to some sort of policy change, that's why I'm assuming this can be that, but it's going to be a hit or miss event. So we'll find out pretty early, I'm pretty sure in the morning, but it looks like the banks are pricing in about a 2 or 3% move. We could talk about that if we don't spend too long on the plays here. But you could just check the at-the-money strike price and the options, what they're pricing in. But pricing in something decent, that's about 1.5% tomorrow and then on Friday. But nothing too big or crazy. But that is a mini event, and we've seen how the market waited. But now you're seeing the market move today. It was big, not definitely the biggest of what we've seen in the last 2 weeks, but still definitely today. Today was a very, very notable day. So depending on how it digests and depending on what happens with the stress test too, we will really, really, really get a clear idea of, okay, what's happening. And then that thing I'm going to show you, get ready. But there was that, what really caused the drop this morning. We weren't that weak in the morning, but there was one thing, I didn't see this talked about a lot. I thought this was important. However, a lot of other finance news sites didn't really pick this up or mention it, but this happened in the morning. IMF downgraded the global outlook or global growth to like 4-point-something%. They had it at like 3.3, and they already lowered it to negative 3.3, I believe. I think it was negative. Yeah, so not even positive, but that news came out. But then I think really during the middle of the morning, this is what really caused the drop. And if you guys were live, you saw it. We were hanging around here, and again, we saw it develop. This news hit. It was really bad. I think so, just in the sense that this is definitely, it was a surprise development, at least to me. But there was New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. They said they're going to be quarantining anybody who comes in for 14 days, anybody who travels into there. And then there was all throughout the rest of the day, kind of just kept contributing to it. Made sense why we were down, but then after a while, it stopped battering the market even lower. We did drop a little bit more than 700 points, but we closed pretty weak. But there was news of hospital capacity, Houston, 97% at the ICU and stuff like that. So I think there's a few other places that reported data like that. So that is what I would say caused it. Now the final part, and this is what I'm saying because I think we might get a move. I think something's brewing. However, It is still June. Again, there's stuff like rebalancing and pensions. A lot of people have talked about that. End of the month, beginning of the month, that's going to be important, I think. However, as far as the calendar is concerned, it is July. We could see something, but maybe towards the end of July, I wouldn't be surprised to see kind of a cuckening. I know, but the thing is, TLT will snitch, my friends. This is the gem. This is what I want to give you right here. TLT will snitch. Once a rat, always a rat, right? Come on, huh? I hate 6ix9ine. I'm edgy. No, but in all seriousness, the market is already diverged from bonds, and there's kind of a phenomenon with how it works. So I'll switch to the S&P and I'll show you. But what I'm going to explain to you is that the move will happen when bonds go lower, not when the market meets the bonds. So pretty much right now, if we come here, here's the S&P 500. I'll show you with TLT. I'm not going to pull up the 10-year, but TLT represents the 10-year to a degree. Again, we talked about this. You should watch it. It was around 10 minutes before close. I gave a really, really good explanation of why we look at TLT at 170, but TLT high is pretty much representing bond yields going lower. So you can see here's just on the 1-year chart. Let's even see the 1-year chart here. Bond yields are dramatically lower. Even this is from March 9th. So the market was like at 270, which is, guys, crazy to say that out loud when I look at it. So the bonds are still high, but the market's high. So this is what I mean. The market is diverged from bonds. So now if the market comes down, but bond yields don't go further down, and you kind of see TLT stay at this range or never breach like 170 or around like 0.5 on the 10-year, then yes, stocks could come down, but I don't think that's going to be, oh my gosh, volatility is returning, people are panicking, because that is why we look at bonds. Now, bonds could reflect some other things. We will see. I will ultimately look at the dollar as well too, but what I'm trying to show you guys is that if there is going to be real volatility, I think there's going to be real divergence, or now that divergence would have to widen. So TLT and people would have to just pile into bonds, and then the market is already diverged and would have no choice to go down, or that divergence would get really, really bad. So there's your little gem. I hope it helps you guys, but the idea is I don't want to be too early. I don't want to miss anything. I think today was a really, really important day. It was big. We will see if there's any more news that comes our way, but again, it's better to be late than wrong. And now with everything with the virus and all these cases, again, that was even part of it. We had a 50% day over day increase in the terms of cases in California and all that. So there was a lot of stuff. But the question is what is the market responding to? But now, how is it going to play out? So we have trusted, reliable stuff, again, bonds, and seeing how the money's moving in some of these macro indicators, but also events, news, and all that. So I'm ready. I'm alert, but let's see what happens. And I just hope you're ready, but I hope you're in the game. But let us get into the plays. Right off the bat, the first play I made was JP Morgan. I just got calls on it. I mean, it was very, very simple. We talked about it. We had old HSBC puts. I thought they were going to be the weakest. I think I did on the Tasty. I have those on the small Robinhood account. I'm holding those. But, yeah, I got these. I got July 17th, 115 calls. And, again, I had old JP Morgans. I've lost on them already, so we already have I think it's like $400 or $500 or a little bit more total between JP Morgan and Bank of America, but I got put calls on them with a little bit of time, and then we got the August puts on Bank of America. And then I'm holding those other plays on HSBC. Again, given that it's either going to be a surprise or not, I have a decent amount of money on it. I'm going to hold it there. I don't need to add more, even though I think something could happen, because if it does surprise, a couple $100 will go a really, really long way, and we got some time on it. So that's the first play that I made. That's how I'm setting up stress test-wise. But now, as far as like plays, I like two different plays. I think one is going to really, really surprise you, but I want to explain it. I kind of talked about it yesterday with the watch list and what I was looking at, and we saw it again today, a weird phenomenon. I'll show you. But if I'm looking even trade-wise, if there is more volatility, again, depending on now, and this is what I'm going to look for, some of these plays and how it develops. If tomorrow you see the stress test come out and it has no effect, but now we start reacting to this virus news a little bit more, the news gets worse or more kind of new unexpected developments in that sense, and then the market starts taking bigger hits, comes back to those levels, sets new ranges for this 2 weeks, then there's going to be some plays to be looking at. But again, don't forget the winners and losers, because if it is going to react to the virus, there's going to be a time for volatility, and then there's going to be a time for some of these to break out. So I'm going to be eyeing some of those, but one of those companies I would look for is going to be Apple puts. So this isn't going to be the one I want per se, but I'm going to keep my eye on that. But now the play I want, Mr. Hits, he's back from vacation, baby. God bless you, Mr. Hits. The Colt loves you. But he brought this up in chat. He slipped this in. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I like this idea. I think Shopify puts with time if the volatility does, but it's kind of contradicting because Shopify would be a winner, but they've gone up so much. Even same thing could apply for Spotify. So to imagine the same ones we like on the way up, you could catch them on the way down, but now there's also the risky offer of maybe selling calls naked. I don't know, call credit spreads, get some premium, but I want to look into that. That play has piqued my attention. I'm going to keep my eye on that again, depending on how we set up. I don't want to be too quick to pull the trigger. So again, watch TLT in the bonds, be patient. But now the next play I like, and I'm going to show you guys this, and this is what I want to focus on, and I want to try to find some of these companies, but you're digging in a pool full of dirt. So be very careful. But Myrna and these biotech companies and these vaccine stocks. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it to the coin in the morning. And again, I have to see if it even plays out. I'm thinking of a quick flip on these or if it'll be like a day thing or a swing because I would prefer to get the shares. Remember, I talked about this. We have these INOs. We have a bunch of shares. The best thing with some of these crappy bio stocks or cheaper companies, but if they're related to kind of like the vaccine news, anything, go with a little bit amount of shares. They could go a long way if it goes crazy. That's what we saw with INO. You guys can see here, we bought these shares at $7.98, got 200 shares, $1,600. You own the shares. There's no time limit. It's risky, volatile, but if it does work out, it's great. I mean, it's like if I lost 50% of the value, I'd lose like $800. That's like this was like a big option trade, but it had a little bit more security. So I'm explaining to you guys why we go with the shares, but now this is a little different with what I want with this play. Now I want to look at Myrna because I want this one with shares. I wish I did that here, but I thought it was still too expensive. So I don't want to buy Myrna unless it comes down. Like I won't get shares until it's like in the 40s. I could consider it, assuming it doesn't get to the 40s off of losing its candidacy as a candidate or even a candidate for hype, but there's also Novavax too, and these are the ones that went. And again, same exact concept here. You could have got this thing at 11, used the same strategy. Oh, man. Hopefully INO does that. But this is what I want to show you guys. I brought up INO and CODX yesterday. Remember, CODX had a pretty big move late day. It was pretty weird, but they did pretty well. And then remember, INO went up a lot yesterday. Went up like 50% yesterday, and then went up another 15% or something today. 10%. Now you're seeing them, but now they got a little bit of gas. But then today, even with the market going down, Myrna was the next winner. They went up a little bit, 3%, but then Novavax went up 13%. And they had a pretty decent move yesterday, but they suffered a little bit. But now, pretty much what I'm expecting is these to kind of rotate, or maybe they all go together. But that's why I'm looking at Myrna. I wish I could get it for the shares. I mean, I'm considering it, but I feel like that's the YOLO FOMO demon in me, so I think I'm going to look for the options to flip these. So I'm assuming that if you take a look at all these, look at Myrna, look at NVAX, look at INO, CODX, kind of looks like Myrna, but it did get a pretty decent jump. However, I'm expecting Myrna has yet to have its kind of crazy rotation yet in the last few days as all these vaccine imminent talks have been talked about, even with what Fauci said yesterday. So that is pretty much it. These are all I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. Again, we're going to be responding to that. I will look at some of the winners like Zoom, where I know we're in that play. The option has been very, very weird on it. I will look at even Walmart as a winner, but they move a little bit weird. But I like their, again, the value, HD, McDonald's, kind of how those contracts move in times like these and their prices and ability to get expensive. But I need to see what happens in the broader sense. I'll be watching those Apple shops, but then I'm going to watch the vaccines and then TLT to see if it snitches, and that's pretty much it. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you in your lane, and I need you focused. You ain't quitting, baby. Who you doing it for? Oh, it's all that matters. It's you, baby. So let's go. I know you smell it. Something's brewing. It's right there. Don't blow it. Don't FOMO it. Don't rush it. Have the budget for a reason. Don't talk yourself out of what you've tried to talk yourself into, baby. So I hope you're ready, but the Colt loves you. I love you. I'm gonna see you in the morning. Let's go.